Welcome to the Black Male Impact. Today we have as guest Mr. Edward Gordon. Mr. Gordon, welcome to the Black Male Impact.
Well, welcome. Thank you very much, Dr. Cross, for having me on the show today.
Man, it's a pleasure. And with the amazing work that you are doing, it's just great to have you here just to share your insights and perspective and how, as men, we can make a difference. But before we get into the conversation itself, before I start really asking the questions, I know you have been in education for over 20 years, from being a teacher to being a principal and a leader, and now coaching others who are in leadership role to serve effectively. But please, if you could, share more about you, and so the listeners can have an idea of who you are before we get into the conversation itself.
Very good. Thank you for the opportunity. I will start off with just by my educational foundation. Started off at the University of South Carolina, where I started music. And after I completed my Bachelor of Arts in Music, I went to New Jersey City University in Jersey City, New Jersey, where I got and received a master's in music education and then a second master's in educational leadership. And after that, during that time period, I spent 6 years as a music teacher at John F. Kennedy High School in Paterson, New Jersey. And then I transitioned and I wanted to fulfill my desire to become a school leader, a school principal. And I started that role and I transitioned over, 16, 17 years, serving students in preschool through high school in various urban school districts in New Jersey, as well as I did some school turnaround work in Philadelphia. In 2020, that's when I took opportunity just to transition out of leading a school to start Gordon Leadership Academy, where we provide coaching, mentoring, training, and assessments for aspiring and current school leaders. And our key niche here is to be able to help an aspiring school leader, a teacher, prepare for the school leadership licensure assessment, which is a required exam to be a principal in 20 states. And with the success of our framework and applying this for our clients right now, I'm so happy to date that 100% of our clients have passed the exam to become a school principal. And now there are principals that are seeking our assistance to become superintendents. So that this time we are helping principals become superintendents by preparing them for the school superintendent assessment. And that is what we're working at. And that assessment is required in 13 states. So we're excited about the work that we're doing, waking up every morning to be able to be a thought partner with school leaders and help them to improve their performance in the best interest of the students that they serve. So I'm excited about the work that I'm doing today.
Man, that's really awesome. And I like to say, it doesn't matter how much we know. We always need a coach or someone to really help navigate the path, because you can do the work on your own and you may be self-motivated, but to get the insights and guidance from someone else and someone who have done the work, it's always great. It helps you to be better prepared as you go forward on your journey, and you're helping others to best serve the students. And the students are our future, and we want to make sure we are being the best of ourselves so we can serve the next generation of change agents and leaders. So, man, I commend you on the work that you're doing, and thank you for being in the space. And as Black men, it's really even more important that the students see us, and even the leaders see us as well, because of all the different stigmas that when it comes to us as Black men. So it's great for us to be at the forefront to help create the opportunities for others. So I'm just going to switch gear a little bit and get into the questions that I have here that I want to ask you. And the goal, is we're focusing on what we can do as Black men. So my first question is, what is the mindset that it takes to make a positive impact?
Yes. The mindset that you have to take to make a positive impact is to see others as a 10, okay? And really see the best in other people. And especially when it comes to, starts with yourself, okay? Waking up in the morning, understanding the gifts and talents that you have, and the ability to share those talents with others, and to have that self-confidence is the beginning part of it. And then the students that you work with, the other teachers that you work with, the other administrators that you lead with, is to really think and believe in the best in them, and also the work that is much needed for the students. Having the positive attitude around the potential success that they will have with the proper support is really key. And if we come with that positive attitude and mindset for ourselves as well as others that we work for, it is going to be transformative in our environments, and we're going to be able to move organizations and schools and also the students that we serve forward in the best possible way.
Man, I believe that is great. Having the mindset, the right mindset to serving others is always the key. And I like what you said as you started, see everyone at a 10. That means you are seeing the best. And once we approach it like that, then we're not going to come with a judgment that this person may not be able to do the work. And it's always important, I believe, that if we have the perception that someone will do well, that can then become a self-fulfilling prophecy, because our approach will be different. And if we think they're not going to, the same thing, we may not do as much as we are capable of doing for those who we are entrusted to serve and to lead and to be an example for. So I really appreciate that perspective. And it's a great reminder that when we look at someone, especially those who are in our care, that yes, they can be the best they can be, and they can achieve whatever goals they want to achieve. We just have to help them to navigate their journey. So I really appreciate that perspective. And it's a great reminder to everyone that have to deal with students or have to serve students, especially. So, man, thank you. My next question is, what advice do you have for the men listening on how they can play a role in creating positive change?
Yes, I appreciate this question, and I really thought about it, and I'm gonna take the opportunity to really dive a little bit deeper into this. And I want everyone to remember this word of influencer, okay? Influencer, INFLUENCER, okay? And the reason why I want you to remember that, because each of those letters means something in terms of what we need to do as Black men in our organizations. And the first word is I for integrity, okay? Many people already have some judgments around Black men and what we're able to do. But if we lead in everything that we do with integrity, we're going to start changing the mindset and the narrative. The next letter is N. It's for nurturer, okay? It's opportunity, many situations, everybody thinks that it's all about me. It's all about what I'm going to get, okay? But when you have that nurturing mindset, you're going to be able to be a supportive for others, okay? And that is what's needed in our environments to really move everything forward. The third letter I always say is F, and that's for faith. And that goes back to what I was saying before. Seeing people as a 10, really believing in other people is really key. The L is listens, okay? You get in a situation where you're at a meeting and you have your own mindset of what you want to do, and you're not taking time to listen to other people, get other people's perspectives. And it's really key. And when people see you as a listener, they're going to come to talk to you because you're open up to their ideas. The next letter is U, understand. You understand people and really understand their situation, their backgrounds, understand why they might have certain mindsets. That is really key. When people see that you understand where they're coming from, they're going to be more connected to you. The next letter is E, okay, and larger, okay? You are taking an opportunity to recognize people that are doing well and really create opportunities that is creating a larger environment for them, put them on different platforms. And it's the same situation that you're doing right now for me, Dr. Cross, in terms of your platform. To be able to share the message is really key. Next letter is N for navigates. Okay. We have to be mentors as Black males for others. Okay. We've been through different situations, different challenges, but all in a way that we're going to continue to advance and get other Black males into the room at the table is when we can help navigate them through the situations and systems to be able to be at the table. The next letter is connects, is C, is that you're actually able to connect with various people that look like us, that look different than us, that have different perspectives. We have to be able to connect. The E is empowers others, okay? To really trust that you give them an assignment and a task that they can do it and they can improve in their leadership. And the final letter is R, okay, which is really key, reproduce, okay? If you are a leader, how do you reproduce other leaders in your organization? If you are a Black male teacher, how can you be a part of reproducing other Black male teachers in your organization? That is how we're going to expand. So that is the acronym that I use to really make an impact. And I want to live to be an influencer, and I really want to work with others to be influencers as well. And that's how we're going to make a difference in the work that we're doing.
Man, that's great. And although I don't remember all the words for each letter, but just the foundation and just to understand that we should see ourselves as influencers. But as you mentioned, that it starts with integrity. We need to show up and do what we say we're going to do and make sure that we are doing a great job at that which we decide to do. And that we learn, we nurture, let's see, I don't remember all the letters.
No problem.
uh,
Integrity nurtures faith. We
yeah,
listen, we understand, enlarge, navigate, connect, empower, and reproduce.
that's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Yes.
Just to make sure we're influencers. And as you mentioned, that especially when we create platforms that we make ourselves available to others and also be able to help others to navigate their own path. And I like the reproduce because there's no sense to you will be the only person doing great. Our job should be to help others to do as great or even better than what we are doing currently. And that's how we will really move the needle forward, as you mentioned. And that's how we're going to advance and progress by being influencers. So I really appreciate you sharing that perspective. And I know the listeners will appreciate it as well. So, because for us to go forward, for us to be as impactful as we're capable of, we should aspire to be an influencer. So I really appreciate that perspective. My next question is, how can we as Black men help to change the narrative? And I know with the influencer, that can also help to change the narrative because I know you mentioned, but how can we, outside of being an influencer, change the narrative?
Yes. I think that it's really important that we take action and show what we're able to do. Okay. People have their thoughts, they have their doubts, they have their mindset. But when we are in position and we are actually making a difference, we are showing up to the job on time, doing our job with a high level of excellence, okay? That is going to start changing the perspectives of people and also the narrative. And once that happens, it's also a situation that I do believe that is going to be opening up to other Black males coming into organizations because of what they see in others in terms of the excellence that they're doing and also how they are supporting the work and the mission of the organization that they're in. I believe that we have to take action. And when we do take action, perform at excellence, and that is going to start changing the narrative.
Well, and taking action is really important because we can have all these great ideas. We can want to do all the things that we want to do. But if we don't take action, things may not happen. So that's a great reminder. And as simple as it is, taking action, it is something that we have to engage in, we have to do if we're going to create change. And yes, there are things that needs to be changed, but we have to be willing and realize how important it is for us to participate in changing some of the things that we see that needs to change. And but I will ask this as a leader within the space of education, what are some of the challenges that you see engaging with other leaders that you have seen by talking to them, they realize that, oh, yes, I need to do this to move forward to be more impactful?
And I'm going to just ask in terms of clarification around this particular question. Is
Yeah.
it more impactful to be able to get certain positions in education, or just be more impactful to produce better results in schools?
Well, it can be either because both are really important, but maybe impact to for progress in the schools. But you can choose whichever area. Yes.
Well, okay, that's good. Thank you for the clarification. I'm actually going to take a real quick time, and I'm going to address both of them. Okay, all right. So the first one, in terms of how we can be more impactful to get in certain positions in school environments, I believe that it's really important for us as Black males to really develop that skill of networking and feeling comfortable in various environments. Okay. As we look in terms of education, the highest group of population is white females in terms of teachers. Okay. And when you see in terms of educational leaders, there are more males, but they're white males. Okay. How do we get into those type of positions? We have to be able to feel comfortable to attend various workshops and conferences and be in various meetings where there are people that do not look like us, okay? And that we are able to have conversations with them, be able to share our ideas, our perspectives, and be able to speak up, okay? I would say right now, yes, you might see me as being a person of confidence here on the screen, but I am an introvert.
Okay.
I used to go to meetings and sit in the room and not say anything. Okay. I might have the answer and the brightest idea, but didn't have that confidence to speak up. And it's important that when you understand yourself, to have a coach that can really call you out on it,
Yeah.
okay, and give you some strategies about how to use your voice, which is very powerful in various places. And once you are able to speak up about it and talk with confidence, you're going to be seen in a different way, and you're going to have those opportunities to come to other tables where we're not normally invited. So that's really important. The second piece, in terms of making an impact in our schools, is important for us as leaders to really understand. I believe that there's 6 components of running an effective school. And I teach this in my coaching as I prepare school leaders for the exams, as well as ongoing coaching. And that is around strategic leadership, instructional leadership, culture and climate leadership, organizational leadership, ethical leadership, and community engagement leadership. Those are those 6 components that are really key. Many times we are in a school environment, and sometimes we're new to a school, and we put a lot of work on probably culture and climate, okay? And do not put the energy around as much as we need in terms of instructional leadership. Or we might be in a situation that we're heavily on instruction, okay, and not doing anything in terms of community engagement or culture and climate. I coach and teach on a method that we have to have a mindset of these 6 components of leadership and lead our schools in harmony. There's going to be times that we're going to need to put more towards strategic leadership than other areas of leadership. But if you forget one of the 6, you're going to have a problem. Okay. All 6 of them have to be working together. I say in harmony to be able to move schools forward and get the best results for the students that we serve, and also effectively lead the teachers that are in our buildings.
Man, thanks for that perspective, because I know other leaders are listening and sometimes need insights on how they can serve better. And I know you may not reach everyone, within the different states that you do work. So I know by sharing the different ways to move forward and to make progress, It's always great for the leaders, especially the ones that are listening in. So, my next question is, what or who have influenced or inspired you to pursue the path that you're on?
Yes, there's two people that influenced my path into education, and that is my mother, who served as a family consumer science teacher, home economics teacher in Passaic High School for about 35 years,
Wow.
and also my sister, who's also a teacher, elementary teacher, middle school teacher. And just by seeing them as example in my own household as educators, it really inspired me to go into education. My mother also had the certification to be a department chair, and she could have been a school principal, but she decided just to, be a teacher and department chair. But it was my decision that I wanted to be a school principal, a school leader. But I knew that I had to teach before I became a school principal, and I utilized I guess the investment that my parents put in me in terms of studying music throughout elementary, middle school, and high school years, and I used that to get into college to study music and to become a music teacher, and then transition to become a school leader. So definitely, my mother and my sister were influential in me getting into education. And I will tell the members of the audience, we have to understand the time that we are in at this period of time. Having educators that are serving for 35, 40 years in one building, one position, things are changing. Okay. Even for me, when I started my career as a school leader, I thought that I will always be a school principal, and more particularly a middle school principal, because that's a totally different concept and beast in terms of being a middle school leader and working with middle school students. But things change. Okay. You get new ideas, new callings, and new visions. I never thought that at this period stage of my career that I would leave school leadership and being in a building, but now as a greater calling for me to be influential to school leaders as principals throughout the country as well as internationally as well. So I just want to encourage the members of the audience, have a vision, okay, but be understanding that sometimes that the vision and path is going to change by new callings and new needs that are for you in education.
And I really appreciate you sharing that. Yes, and everyone have different people who inspire them. But being that you had the inspiration right there at home, for you to see firsthand the impact that a teacher can have on a student, that in itself can be what kind of propel you into that space. And I also appreciate where you share that you may have a greater calling. You may have something else that you want to do in life, and you may think this is what you're going to do forever. And you realize that there is something else for you to do. And also, you brought to our attention or the listeners' attention that the years of serving in one building, it's not really like that today because people are now being exposed to different opportunities and they see more, they see what is possible. Now they may transition to doing something else. And just to bring that to the awareness of the listeners is always a great thing, just to let them know that maybe it's okay to have bigger dreams, have bigger aspirations, want to make a greater impact. But one thing that I've realized on my journey is that it's important, that you're doing something that you enjoy doing, something that you can make an impact in the lives of others. So whatever it is for whoever, I think doing something that you enjoy doing is important. I want to just go back to you sharing that you are an introvert and you have to train yourself to be maybe act as an extrovert, being the person in the room that talks to others. So if there's someone who is considered introvert that's listening, what advice would you give to them if they want to become more social?
Yes. So one thing that I would say, you're going to be invited to various events, and many times for introvert, it's overwhelming for them. You get stressed out, and sometimes you understand there's going to be a lot of people there. You don't even go. You don't even get into the room. So one thing that a strategy that I've learned and I want to share with you is that when there is an event, go early, okay? Go when they're still setting up, okay? And you'll be the first one there. So what's going to happen is you go there and you ask the person that's coordinating the event if there's anything that you can help. They might ask you to put some chairs out, but it's an opportunity for you to meet the people that are in charge of the event, okay? They are getting to know you and you are getting to know them. And then as you are there, when people are starting to come, they're coming a little bit at a time. And it's an opportunity for you to meet a couple of people when the room is not overwhelming with people. And from there, they're going to, the other people that you meet, they're probably extroverts, and they're going to introduce you to other people. And that's how the momentum just happens for you. And you're confident and comfortable in there in the room because you know other people. And I would say that's a strategy that I've used. It's been effective for me. And definitely, if you are an introvert, one key thing is understanding that and definitely getting that support, different strategies to be able to come out of that shell, to open up, because that's going to, if you're a quiet mouth, doesn't allow for the opportunities to happen. You have to be in a space to be able to talk, to be able to communicate effectively. And also, you have great ideas inside of you, okay? And it's not going to benefit the other teachers you serve, the other leaders, or the students that you serve if you do not share it. So I want you to definitely utilize your voice.
Well, and thanks for saying that, because for introverts, if they have something and they don't share it, it doesn't benefit anyone. It may not even benefit them because what they share may even open doors for them. But I also like the strategy that you use to go early and network with the people that are there and have the people there introduce you to other people. So you may not even have to do the introduction yourself.
Yeah.
So that's a great strategy. And thanks for sharing that. I wanted to just bring that up because I know maybe there are other introverts listening and they may be having difficulty networking or connecting with others. So sharing something with them and how they can become more comfortable connecting with others is great. So thanks again for sharing that. So my next question is, what is your perspective on the current climate of Black men in society today?
Yes. In reference to this question, I really was thinking about it, and I don't believe that there's been any change. Okay. So I think that there's still, when we talk about the current perspective, I think that we still have our challenges and struggles. For me, when was in school district, a Bound Brook Public School District in New Jersey, at that period of time, I was the first African American male principal allowed to be a principal. Okay. And in that situation, yes, that's 2004. And now we're in 2023. There's still some challenges of Black males getting in certain school districts, having certain positions. And I believe that the challenges that happened years ago are still happening today. And it's important for us to continue to improve our skills, improve our communication skills, continue to improve our networks. And as for Black males that have gotten into certain positions, it's important for us to be mentors, to help others to get into positions, to get into other rooms, and to guide them. We cannot live in isolation. The society and this world has created various challenges, and we have to support one another. And that is going to be key for us to, I would hope, 10, 20, 30 years in the future, not have this continuous conversation about the challenges of Black males in education or in society. But there's still a lot of work that we have to do.
Okay. Man, and as you said, you were the only Black male that was allowed to be principal in that school district. What do you mean?
I believe that there were other Black males that were qualified,
Okay.
but didn't get the position. Okay. And I'm just thankful based on my education, based on my skill set, based on my network, I was able to navigate the interview process to get in those positions. And I believe there's other Black males that are qualified for other positions that are not receiving them at this period of time. That's why I use the word allowed,
Yeah.
uh, because there are other Black males that are qualified for positions.
Yeah, and as you mentioned something that's key, and that is to mentor others. If you're a Black male and you're in the position of leadership, I think mentoring someone else help them to figure out or to learn what it takes to get into those roles. I think it is important because I believe that we have to be door openers, for others. We have to and be willing to coach someone through the process of getting in those spaces because you don't want to be, I don't believe you want to be the only one in those spaces. And if you see someone who displays the qualities, have the qualifications, I do believe sometimes just to guide them. I don't believe that everyone will come forward and say, "Oh, can you mentor me?" But I think as a leader, sometimes we have to do the identification of those individuals. Let them know that we see their effort, let them see their work that they're doing, and to see how they can be helped to go forward. And, maybe as a leader can ask, what is your aspiration? Do you want to progress? Do you want to be in a higher position or a leadership role? And I think by providing the insights and guidance, I think that's one way, as you mentioned, that more of us can be in those spaces that we are more than qualified to be in. So I really appreciate you sharing that perspective. So my next question is, what change do you want to see in general and amongst Black men?
And I think we definitely touched on this. I think that the greater opportunities for coaching and mentoring and networking to be able to support each other is really key. Just making sure that we are not in the mindset that we have received this position. And I believe that when we receive position, we are, I believe, obligated to help others get there or where they want to be. And I think that is really key for us to move forward as Black men is to create opportunities for the ongoing coaching, mentoring, network opportunities. And we've met myself, Dr. Cross, through LinkedIn. So every week I build increase my following of 100 people or so forth. It's all right to have 6,000 people connecting on LinkedIn, but how are you utilizing the people that you are connected with to be able to connect others, to be able to move them forward? And that is really key. And the key part is really knowing people that are in your network and your LinkedIn community and so forth, and seeing how they can be supportive of someone to help them move to the next level. The networking piece is really key for us to be able to move forward.
Man, I started to see the value of networking. Actually, I went to a workshop, and the person we're talking about, man, you're talk like they were just talking in general that you guys are already connected to the person that can help you. And everybody was saying, no, we don't, we're not yet connected. But the person said, yes, you are connected to the person who can help you. The person that can help you may not be the immediate connection now, but that person can connect you to the person who can help you. So I was like, you know what? Now is the time to really utilize LinkedIn connection because I have a lot of connections on LinkedIn. And I realized that you were sharing that it's important to network with the people that you already know. That person that can lead you to someone else that can open a even bigger door for you. So you sharing that networking is key. It is important, especially for us as Black men as we go forward on this journey and break some of the barriers or break through some of the barriers to be in different spaces because there are people that we already know that we may not even reach out to, or may not even take the time to see what they're doing, because it's important that we learn about what they're doing and see maybe how we can contribute to what they're doing and vice versa. But that which you share, I believe it is really, really important, because that's what the workshop, the conference was like really about. It was saying, he was like telling everybody, like, you already connected to the person who can help you. And no
Yeah.
one sometimes really believe they are connected. But the person that you know can connect you to someone who can actually give you that or lead you to that great opportunity.
Yeah, I just want to say real quickly. Yesterday, I put together an opportunity on Zoom. My vision is for me to be able to speak, coach, and train in all of the 36 English-speaking countries. So what I did last week, God just gave me this vision. He said, you're connected to educators in all 36 English-speaking countries. So I set up an opportunity I invited everyone I was connected to in these various countries on a Zoom yesterday. Not everybody showed up because it's the first time doing it, but it's a start.
Yeah.
But a couple of things happened on there. First of all, the people that were on there from Nigeria, Canada, other places, they know right now my vision is to get into their countries, okay? And right now, they know that I'm looking for them to help me to get speaking opportunities to go into their country. That's the first thing. The second thing that happened is there was an educator in Canada that's having challenges with ESL and bilingual services for his students. But on the call was the bilingual and ESL supervisor that I mentor and coach in New Jersey. And they were able to exchange information, and she was sharing with him about how he can have a stronger program for his boarding school in Canada that represents, I think, 40 different countries of students that come into the boarding school, and they're trying to figure out how to help them with the English language so they're all on one page. But if you don't bring people together and have these type of conversations, like, I didn't have an answer for them, but like you said, through my connection and connecting them, now there's some synergy, and now they're helping each other. So networking is definitely important.
Man, it is. I tell you, and since even I started doing this, the conversation with Black men, I've had like so many people reach out to me just because of someone that I've had a conversation with that are in their network. They see what I'm doing and really appreciate it, and that I would not otherwise connected to that person or know of that person, but through the one person that I talk to, now I am able to connect with other people. So it is really important, because we're just always one connection away from that opportunity that we really want. And by talking to someone, the person that we're talking to may not have the answer, just as the person shared with you what they want, but just right there in that moment, they make that connection. So, man, I really appreciate you bring up that perspective, because there are other people that's listening that don't realize the importance. Maybe they know the importance of networking, but they think they have to connect with the person at the top, not realizing that they can connect with the person here. The person here that they already know can take them to the person at the top that they want to connect to. So I again appreciate that perspective. And networking is really key to really navigate in our way forward, or to get those opportunities that we really want. So my next question is, what was a pivotal moment in your life?
Yes, a pivotal moment in my life is when I was terminated from a job as a school principal.
Okay.
I, took that time and was really asking God, it's like, why was I so successful in other schools, and here I'm having this challenge? And what he revealed to me is the fact that, he said, Edward, in the past, you were doing this all on your own. You didn't have a coach or a mentor. And then when I had to take some time to learn what a coach is and what a mentor is. And they're two separate people. A coach is a person that is able to ask you some questions to bring able to pull out what's already inside of you. And that is really key to have a coach. And then the other person is a mentor. somebody who is farther along down the road than you are, that you aspire to have that same type of success and accomplishments in your role as a teacher, as a school principal, as a superintendent, that is able to help guide you through the paths of what you have to do to be successful. And once I understood the difference between a coach and a mentor, I got both of them in my life. And that's when I re-entered leading in schools. And now I have a coach and a mentor for every area of my life, for finances, for relationships, for education, because I understand now the value and the importance of it. And even though I went back into leading in the school, that experience was still started that strong call on my life. And that's why in 2019, 2020, I stepped out of the role of leading the school to start Gordon Leadership Academy to provide coaching and mentoring and training and assessments for other school leaders, because there are school leaders across the country, internationally, that feel alone right now, that they're doing it all on their own, and that do not have someone to talk to help support them, to really pull out what's already inside of them in terms of leadership and communication abilities, and to support them on their journey. And I wake up every morning excited with the opportunity to be able to coach and mentor someone. And that pivotal moment in my life made a transition in terms of what I was doing in terms of my career. And I feel fulfilled every day when I'm able to support a school leader either in this country or internationally.
And that's great. And just to go back to what you said about your pivotal moment, which gave you perspective. Sometimes the challenges that we experience, the difficulties or the disappointments, sometimes the best way to deal with them is to have this perspective that, is there something for me to learn from this experience? And if we don't approach it like that, we may look at the bad experience in our mind that it's just a bad experience. Yes, because we weren't so effective. But if you say, what can I learn from this? What is this teaching me? I believe we can get more out of a challenging or disappointing experience than we think. And just for you to share that you realize that having a coach and a mentor, and not only that, you gain the coach and mentor, you also gain the insight on how to be effective with helping others that may need the same guidance so they can be effective. So sometimes what we think is a disappointment really set us up to
Yeah.
be more effective, to help those who were actually here to help. Maybe that bigger purpose, just to be open and realize that, no, I'm not just going to sit back and just think this is what it is. Start to be introspective and to understand that, oh, maybe I need to do something so I can be better, so I can help others to be better. So I really appreciate you sharing that perspective. And it's a great reminder, not just to take a bad experience as a bad experience, but maybe start questioning ourselves so we can see where we need to improve so we can better serve others. So my next question is, what life lesson have you learned late in life that you believe is important and can benefit this current generation?
I would definitely encourage this current generation, as the common theme that I've been saying is definitely to have a coach and a mentor. That is important, okay? And for the school principals and school leaders and educators that are listening, even for the parents that are part of this community, I know that we have some students that are school age children right now and might not understand the benefits of a coach, but having a mentor right now as students are in middle school and high school is really key. And if there's someone that you can connect your child with through your church, it could be someone that's a local business owner or somebody in the community, to be there for your students, your child is really key. When it comes to our school leaders, we think about the fact that, all right, I can't get a mentor in there for every student I have in the building, but continuously creating opportunities where you're bringing in guest speakers is key. That mentorship comes through that. If
Yeah.
I came to your school and I talked about my experience at the University of South Carolina, and also being a part of the marching band for the University of South Carolina, being on the field every Saturday with 350 other students and traveling over the weekends to different football stadiums and being a part of the basketball pep band and so forth, that creates new mindset and new thinking of college life and college experience. That's mentorship. And that could be a situation where I'm talking to a group of 30 students in the classroom, but now 30 students in the classroom, just through my coming into your building, has a new idea and vision about college life and school experience. And me talking about what I had to do to become a teacher and a school principal and some of the challenges. Now 30 students understand that you can have some a vision. Sometimes things don't work out. How do you get through it? How do you become resilient? That's mentorship. Okay. So I want to encourage the school leaders continually get people from your community into your buildings, talking to your students. That's the form of mentorship. That's what our students need. I talk to students in many different urban districts, and sad to say, some of them haven't even left their community. Okay, do not even know about museums and other resources that are in a neighboring state or so forth because they haven't had the opportunity to leave their blocks. Okay, but when you bring in mentors, and they're able to take them out of the where they live right now and just open up their mind, and that is really key right now. So definitely the mentorship when they're in grade levels of school and when you're in college and beyond, I would just encourage everyone to have a coach and a mentor for various areas of your life.
That is really important. And it can save you a whole lot, having the right guidance, having the right support. Because to navigate your journey, if you don't have, especially immediate examples, you're going to need insights and perspective from others to make sure the decisions that you're making will serve you better long term. So I do support having the mentor and coach as we navigate our journey forward. And just for the opportunities ahead, we need to learn from others. What we don't know, we need to learn from others because that's it. None of us knows everything. And sometimes even what you think you know, you still need someone maybe to help you unpack what you know, because what you know may not best serve you at the moment, but just to understand and maybe understanding personalities of the environment, the culture of the environment, because yes, you may have the knowledge for the environment, but maybe the culture of the environment may not be the best suiting for you where you are. And how do you navigate within those space where the culture is not what you would expect? So having the guidance and support is really important as you navigate your way forward. And I really appreciate that because that's something that we can talk more about going forward in regards to coaching and mentoring. So that's really great. So my next question is, where can the listeners find you and help support the work that you are doing to make a difference?
Yes, two main places, especially on social media. On LinkedIn, it's Edward W. Gordon II. Please reach out and follow me as well as connect with me. And as I mentioned before on LinkedIn, I do not just see you as a number. I definitely want a great opportunity, even through messaging or even get on a quick 15-minute Zoom to be able to get to know you and what you have to offer, and also how I can learn from you and also support the work that you're doing. And the second way is on Facebook, Principal Edward Gordon, known as Principal Gordon on Facebook, and is excited to be able to, again, connect and also interact with those that are following me on Facebook as well.
Okay. And I will definitely put in the description ways to connect with you. So even it doesn't matter how long after they watch the recording, there will be information in the description for the listeners to connect with you, not just to learn from you, but also to support the work. And being that you want to be serving in all 36 countries,
Amen.
you never know who may come across the information and be able to connect you to someone in a country that you haven't yet been. So it will be there for them to connect with you. So my final question is, what impact do you want to have on the world?
The impact that I want to have on the world is that we have strong, effective leaders and communicators worldwide.
Okay.
And it definitely starts with our students in school, learning about leadership and communication and improving their soft skills so that when they are in college and beyond, that they are leading with excellence, communicating with excellence, but also they have the mindset of not only getting to a level of being successful, but the level of living a life of significance. And that life of significance is when you are successful, but you're not thinking about yourself anymore, but also thinking about other people, how to get others to improve in their leadership, their communication, their soft skills, and create opportunities for other people. And for the legacy that I would like to live and leave is that I am living a life of significance and I'm helping others live a life of significance for others in the future as well.
Man, that's awesome, because once you do that and you help others to do that, it will continue. Somebody that you impact will go on to impact someone else. And that's important. And that's a great reminder, not just aspire to be successful, but to be someone of significance. And I think that's a great way to end the conversation, to remind the leaders that we must aspire to be people of significance, not just achieving success for personal gain, but how we can help others to be the best that they can be through us being aspiring to be someone of significance, because then we involve others in what we're trying to accomplish. Mr. Gordon,
Mhm.
Principal Gordon, man, it's great to have you here on the Black Male Impact. And I will forever remember, influencer, that we should aspire to be an influencer. And I appreciate that perspective. And I'm going to go back myself and listen to what all letters mean. But I know the listeners really appreciate that perspective again. So, man, thank you for being here on the Black Male Impact.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. And listeners, as always, continue to support, like, and share what we're doing here, as our goal is to inspire positive change. We want to change the narrative when it comes to Black men. And as always, the goal is to bring Black men here that can share what they're doing for one, but how we as a collective can make a difference in our world. Thanks for being here on the Black Male Impact.